proving that.
Matthew 24:1. I'm going to let Yahushua bring it out. Who is Jesus Christ?
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
The sign of the coming of the end of the world. We're not going to read the whole chapter, but this whole chapter answers the question, the signs of the coming of Christ. Some of y'all are not going to believe it. Some of y'all in denial. But some of y'all are going to wake up. We're going to get right, and we're going to go through our perseverance and through our teaching and await the coming of Christ. Let's read on a little bit more. I'm going to pick out some of these to show you some of the signs that Christ out of his own mouth told his 12 disciples. What is the sign of his second coming and the end of this world? Not the whole planet.
So the whole planet is not going to be destroyed?
No, the earth shall abide forever, as the scriptures say. Just the power of the Gentiles must be brought down. Their armies, their weaponry, as we're going to read, must be brought down, and their power must be diminished so that the Israelites can be gathered from the four corners of the earth and put us back in power. That's what it's coming to.
Well, according to scientists, you know, just right quickly, according to scientists, they said that they see meteors and all these things in space, and they're heading towards Earth and so forth like that.
Yeah.
Can you just expound right quickly if that is true or if it is not? Because then that would be a counter to what it is that you're saying. You're saying that the Gentiles and then the scientists are saying something totally different. So is the Earth going to be destroyed or is it not?
Well, let's keep on reading here, and we're going to flow right into that when we read here.
Okay. Verse 4 in Matthew the 24th chapter. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
See, the end is not yet. You've seen these wars, rumors of wars. Read the 12th verse.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many shall wax cold. Marriages messed up, relationships, children with their fathers, all of these, the love of the world is gone. There's no love between people, between nations, male, female, friendships. You have to fight for these things now. Before, it was a natural thing. Maybe in the 60s, we didn't have all of this going on. Now, there's a science to slavery that this man has been working on for years, and now it's coming to its fruition. As pertaining to the question, the Lord controls all things. When you read Colossians 2, he controls, to get that real quick, Colossians 2, the invisible and the visible. We can't see, meteors flying around, a meteor coming to the earth. That's the white man telling us, he's looking in the telescope and seeing these things. That's him talking. The Lord controls all these things. You see? There can be a meteor coming to the earth. The Most High have it come so far and then change trajectory. We live in perilous times. You see, there's all kind of things that can kill us. We can walk on the street and get hit by a car. But the Most High has everything in control. So there are bodies and meteors flowing around for thousands of years. But the Lord's mind and his power is controlling. Everything is in his order. That's why this earth moves 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's a time that's set by intelligence. That didn't have to be no big bang, no random thing. So where we got Colossians 2.
Colossians 2.
In 19.
Okay.
That's it.
Colossians 2 and 19.
Let me see, 3 and 19. Let me see. Maybe it's 2 and 19.
Visible and invisible.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
You got it.
Colossians 1 and 16.
1:16.
For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. Okay,
you get Luke 21:25. So we have these bodies that are around the earth. But now we're looking all this time. The Bible is what tells you how the Lord is going to deal with the earth, how he's going to bring on his prophecies. The answer to brother's question, I haven't seen a scripture about any meteorite hitting the earth and blowing it up. Meteorites have hit the earth. They have evidence from watching the moon, how there's many craters there. So the meteorites hit that. And meteorites have hit the earth, but because of erosion and foliage, we don't see these craters all over the place because they've been covered up by erosion. But they're here. But now, do you ever hear of these meteorites just hitting populations like crazy? You see it on TV, but I haven't seen it in history, because the Lord knows what he's doing. He's controlling all this. We ain't got to worry about that because the Lord didn't prophesy that that's going to happen. A meteorite's going to come and destroy the earth. We got to send up a shuttle to shoot a missile out and blow it out of its trajectory. That's HBO. Let's deal with the scriptures right here. Okay, read that. 21:25, Luke.
Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
Now the sea and the waves always been roaring. This is symbolic when you're reading the scriptures of these nations. They're warring, they're moving. There's this big uproar around the world, and it's going to get more and more. Look at that Korean guy. He's warring. His nation is roaring. They're showing their power. Pakistan, Afghanistan, all these nations are roaring, you know, about what America is doing and what different nations are doing, and the wars and rumors of wars. Go ahead.
Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
These guys are looking out in space. You can buy different books. They have all kind of weaponry up there. Early warning systems, laser beams, particle beams, you see, that are facing outwards, because they know that Christ is coming with his holy angels, thousands of them. They're seeing meteors coming, but the meteors ain't rocks. The meteors, there's scriptures that speak about how they see the ships. And they come on TV sometimes, UFO shows, how they're seeing these ships flying in and appearing in Mexico and all around the world. They're seeing these sightings of the angelic vehicles of Yahweh, which you call UFOs. And they're coming in with impunity, and they're coming in with total superiority. And radars don't pick them up. Some are large as states, some are large as houses. And these are the things that men are fearing, the leaders, because they know they got to fight these things. They make movies about Independence Day. That's about fighting Jesus Christ. You see, but they make fun of it with little green men and all that stuff. You don't read about little green men in history, not before the white man come. He started to make fun of the angels. When you read in the history, I got a book called UFO Sightings in History. It shows how the Romans, Egyptians, and Ethiopians saw these images, and they saw men. They saw human-like creatures. They didn't see little green men. So don't go for the jokes and the hype that this white man puts out, you know, and different nations put out, trying to downplay. But these men's hearts are fearing for seeing what's coming on the planet Earth. They're reading the Bible, they're seeing how Christ is coming, and they're physically seeing angels and seeing these forces that are arraying around the earth and just coming in and flying in and making crop circles and beaming up white folks, beating them up and laying them back down the field somewhere. That don't happen to Puerto Ricans and blacks too much. I haven't read it. Maybe it happened, but I see white folks coming on TV. Yeah, it spoke me, it hit me. There's a book you can buy called, I got it here, called Encounters, where a white woman describes her, she was regressed back in time and describes her encounter with the UFOs. And she says, I've seen beautiful black men in these ships. Now how come you don't see that in other people who regress back and get beamed up by ships? There's always little green men. She said she saw black men. And they were so wise, she said. I'll read it to you in some show we're doing on UFOs. But you can get that it's by Edith Fiore, a Dr. Edith Fiore. It's called Encounters. Very powerful book about her encounters with people.